Hello, I love this wine, and if you've drunk Portuguese wine in the last decade or two, and you've said, golly, I've never seen this thing called Alentejo before, chances are it's because you've drunk this wine. And if you haven't had this wine, you're in for a real treat. I'm kind of jealous of you. It's wonderful stuff, and it really exemplifies how and why Portuguese wine has become really popular in that space of time in the last 20 years. There is a family in the south of Portugal called the Soares family, and two brothers who run a very successful business selling wine in the Algarve funded a winery that they built or bought and then invested in the very late 1990s. 1998 is when they made their first vintage here. And the stuff is absolutely brilliant because they're harnessing really, really ripe fruit with modern technology, and because of the success of their wine shops in the Algarve, they had route ready to market for their stuff. And who goes to the Algarve? That's right, they go to the Algarve, and when they come home they go, I want that wine that I had when I was on holiday, and then they can get it, and it's been a runaway success. And what's been lovely to see is that they are still very humble and lovely people. I've had the opportunity to meet them, which is very, very nice, and to stay in the winery, which is even just as nice. The label is designed, this one is by Francesca. There's a barcode on an endangered manta ray. She drew it, and they draw the label. There are 4 kids. I think it's 4 kids, 4 kids, 5. And each one draws a label every year for this particular wine, and it changes every year. And the barcode attached to the manta ray, the endangered manta ray, says, nature is not for sale. I don't think that's what the barcode says, but that's what it's implying. Look at it's gorgeous stuff, and it does a really clever thing. It uses Portuguese indigenous grape varieties with international grape varieties, and because of the modern winemaking technology, you get a modern expression of wine. So Touriga Nacional, Syrah, Alicante Bouchette, Aragonés, which is Tempranillo, so similar to Rioja, and Cabernet Sauvignon. It's a beautiful wine. It's very smooth. It's really quite rich. It's quite alcoholic. In some vintages, I was just checking that over there, it's 14% for this vintage, which is not as high as it has been in the past. And actually, for me, it's a brilliant balance for this particular vintage, which is great. It doesn't mean the next year is not going to be balanced, because the quality of fruit that's in the ground is hugely is very high, and it's immensely well cared for. Robert Parker stumbled across the winery after 3 or 4 vintages that they had only had, and he was totally blown away by the quality. He was, I think, well, legend has it, he was on holiday, bossman's holiday, stumbles across a winery that no one ever heard of, and he just was totally bowled over. So the story is lovely behind the wine, the label, but what it has done for Portuguese wine and consumption, certainly in Ireland, has been really, really brilliant, and I'm really, really pleased to recommend it to anybody that wants to try something that's a bit new but also a bit similar. And of course, that's the whole point. It's got Syrah, it's got Cabernet, Shiraz Cabernet from Australia, or it's really fine Syrah from the south of France, or Cabernet from Bordeaux or Napa or from Tuscany. It's a really good combination of those two things, and because Portugal is so warm, especially in the south, you get ripeness levels like, more international than, say, Northern European. And because it's got its own grape varieties, plus that special Aragonés, which is the same as Rioja, you get a bit of difference, a bit of similarity, and the overall impact is absolutely stunning. I really, really recommend this to lots of people, and they come back, and I hope that you're going to be one of them.